Everyone, this is Smriti. Welcome to QA automation classes. In the last class, we have seen how to design the CSS selectors with the ID and class and with the different backend attributes, right? And how to combine the different backend attribute if you are not able to identify particular web element with one unique attribute. That also we have seen. And today we are going to look into the string matching or the pattern matching cases, right? So what exactly is a pattern matching case, right? So the pattern matching case will be let me draw. So we'll see three things. One is the this symbol. This is starts with, and there is dollar symbol, okay, and this dollar symbol is for ends with, and there is asterisk. Okay, so the asterisk will be any substring, right? Any part of the string, right? Or the substring you can use. So let's without wasting further time, let's get it started. So let's go to the same search demo and we'll find a suitable candidate where we can play around with all this attribute. So let's go with this username field only. Okay, so here if you see, we can use the starts with, ends with, and substring. Okay, so the case one will go with the start with. Okay, so if you see, here is one backend attribute that is called as the name equals to username, right? So how to write this one? So now here if you see input, okay, name equals to username. Okay, so this is general way, like tag name attribute equals to value. Through this we can identify. But now let's say I want to say the name starts with user. Let's say after user, let's say this is a dynamic field. Okay, so name equals to user1. So next time when you open it will be user2. If user3 logs in, they open the application, for them it will be user3. Okay, so let's say that kind of scenario is there where the entire string is not constant, it keeps on changing. Part of the string is constant and part of the string is changing. So in that case you cannot use the complete string name. Okay, and when you cannot use the complete string name, we need to use the partial string value which is constant, right? That is nothing but the user. But with this attribute tag and attribute equals to value, here we have to give the complete value, we cannot give the partial value. So in that case we can use this pattern matching functions. Okay, so starts with, ends with. So now you can use starts with symbol. Okay, starts with equals to user. So now here what is happening, see, 1 of 1 is getting highlighted. That means, so we have input. Okay, so it will go and identify, okay, all the input tag, and then name equals to name starts with user. So it will go and identify the backend attribute name. Okay, backend attribute name is there and it starts with user. Yes, it starts with the user. So then this one is highlighted, right? So this is the way to write starts with. Okay, so here I can write, so starts with, this is the example, input name equals to user. So similarly we can do the ends with, right? So or one more example you can see. So let's see one more backend attribute, data test username. Okay, here if you see there is no hyphen and all. Okay, so let's go with the data test. Okay, so now you can write like this, data test, okay, equals to data test starts with user or us e also, or us also you can write. Okay, so this is another way to write. Another example, the way is same. This is another example. Okay, so here one more example, right? So any backend attribute you can use, and you can say starts with and give the initial few characters with which it starts. That is the starts with. So similarly we can go with the ends with, right? So let's go to the ends with. So now if you see ID username, name equals to username. So same name we can take the example. Okay, so name we can say instead of data set, let's say name. Okay, starts with user and name ends with, so give dollar. Okay, And what is the this one? Name. Okay, you can give as name. Okay, so now if you see the username here, let me expand it a little bit more. Okay, so now if you see name, user hyphen name, so it is ending with name, right? So last few characters of the ending string here is name, right? So that's what we're saying, name equals to name. Okay, or you can even say hyphen name, right? That is also fine. Hyphen name, that is also valid. You can say me also, that is also fine, right? So it is identifying. So we'll say name. Okay, but you cannot miss anything in between. NME you cannot write. You have to, whatever you are writing, you have to write it sequentially. Okay, so now this is the way to write ends with. Okay, so starts with we have seen, and this is the ends with. Okay, so now here you can say this is ends with. Okay, one example, and let's do another example also there with another backend attribute. So let's say here data test. Okay, so we'll say data test dollar. Okay, data test here data test. Okay, so now data test, and you have to say dollar. Okay, so data test dollar, and equals to, you can give username name. Okay, give name. Okay, close it. Cool. So now input, and then within the square braces you can write data test. This is one of the attribute, and data test dollar, that means we are expecting the backend attribute data test to end with name, or you can give here me also, right? Sequentially you have to give, you cannot give name, that is wrong. We have to give name. Okay, so this is another way to write. Okay, so now here give one more. This is ends with. Okay, and these are starts with and ends with. Okay, so there is one more way where you can match the text partially or fully. Okay, so that is nothing but the star. Okay, so now let's go to the same username. Okay, and in the username we have let's see, username input. Okay, so input, and we'll see, take this one. Okay, name only will take. Okay, so let's say name star equals to, what you have to do, so name star equals to anything you can give. Okay, so you, whatever you give it consecutively. Okay, like either you can give USER, let's give something. Okay, star equals to, where basically we have to give a substring. Okay, so USE, so USE also it is able to identify. Okay, or USER also it will be able to identify, or you can write hyphen name also, it is used to identify. If you want to give a partial thing, let's remove this US. Okay, so ER hyphen name also it is able to identify, or if you want to give ER hyphen NA also it is able to identify. So that means star means anything before anything after is fine, anywhere in between the text also it is fine. So the thing is, we have to give a complete sequence. Okay, anything can come before, anything can after also, no worries. Okay, so but you cannot give like this N A E. See, you have to give name NA ME, you have to give. You cannot give, you cannot skip in between, right? Either from the beginning you can skip, from the end you can skip, but you cannot skip in between. Okay, if you want to skip in between, you don't have any option like that. Okay, so okay, so ER hyphen NA. Okay, so this is also possible. Okay, this is to use the star. Okay, the star is nothing but your pattern matching substring. Okay, so anything you can use. Okay, and one more we'll see with the data test. Okay, so here you'll say data hyphen test. So what is this data hyphen test username. Okay, so you can give anything in between, ERNA, right? So if you give ERNA also it will work, or ERN also it will work, or RN also it will work. Okay, anything is fine. So this is how you design your CSS selectors. Okay, these are the pattern matching cases, okay, where you will use the different patterns. Starts with is like caret, and then you can give the starting characters, and it can be useful when the part of the string or the starting of the string is constant, and the second part or the remaining part is a dynamic one, and the second one is ends with, when the it is useful when the second part or the ending part of the string is constant and the first part keeps on changing. In that case you can use with the pattern matching like ends with. For that you can use the dollar and any backend attribute. And then third one is the star is for the substituting anything before and after. Okay, so if you give with the star, then you can give any text in between, right, or substring in between. It will try to identify the that particular web element. Okay, so these are nothing but your different types of the pattern matching or the string matching functions that is used in the CSS locators. Okay, hope everyone is clear. If you guys have any questions, then just put them in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Please to subscribe to my channel and share these videos with your friends and colleagues. Okay, and yeah, if you have any questions, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.